Hello there. Good evening and a very good happy Bakrid and happy Varmahalakshmi to everybody. So thank you very much for coming back to the eighth episode of Office 2.0, the future of work. It's been an amazing last 8 weeks. I've had the opportunity to interact with so many people from the HR admin and training and development and all these different sectors. And it's really been a revelation. It's been an eye opener. I've got to uh, listen and learn and understand so many different trends that we are seeing because of the current COVID situation. So let's not mince any words here. The COVID, the current situation that we have has really thrown all of us off the track, and we are seeing situations which we had never seen, never expected, and were certainly not prepared for. Several industries have taken a hit: travel and events and hospitality and hotels and retail. There are many sectors which have taken a big hit, and interestingly, there have been a lot of new sectors that have come up as well. And in these 8 episodes, I've had the opportunity to interact with so many people, and there have been so many new concepts that I've got to learn, and I hope that's been the case with you too, and I hope that's why you keep coming back again and again. All right, so let me take a minute to introduce myself. I'm Shrikant Acharya. I'm the CEO at thehomeoffice.in, which is an e-commerce company where we sell, where we present a series of products that people require to work from home more efficiently. We are seeing that it's so much relevant in these times because everybody is working from home right now, right? So it's been a very interesting journey. We've had the opportunity to identify and list so many amazing products that have made life much simpler and much more effective for people. The real reason why we see a great impact at the home office is because most of these corporates, large companies, have amazing infrastructure in their offices, right? Any MNC, any large company you're looking at, they have the best architecture, the best ergonomics, the best lighting, cooling, Wi-Fi network, and cafeteria and gyms and everything, right? So you go to your office and you're 100% focused, and you are in the zone where you're not thinking about home or anything else, and you're 100% focused on your work. But now you've been pulled out of all of that ecosystem and you're forced to work from home. And the problem is that homes were never designed to be great workplaces. Homes were always designed to have fun, to spend time with your family, cook dinner, invite friends, relax, all of that stuff. But mostly homes were never designed to work. So it's almost like all these months and years you're used to traveling in a Mercedes or an Audi or something, and now suddenly somebody says now you need to start traveling in an auto. You just cannot expect the same levels of efficiency, can you? Now, uh, so we don't know how long we need to travel in that auto, or how long this situation is going to exist, and there is so much uncertainty. That's the reason I created the series called Office 2.0, and today I have a very interesting guest for you. So Siddharth, I've known him for many years now, and Siddharth comes with amazing experience, almost 20 years of experience in the HR space. He's a CHRO, psychometrician, coach, group facilitator, author, researcher, and he's got experience working with companies in a varied sectors, variation of sectors. Right? He's worked in aviation, he's worked in IT, he's worked with startups, healthcare, and retail. So let's invite Siddharth and hear from him what he has to think about the current situation that's there. So Siddharth, welcome to the eighth episode of Office 2.0, the future of work. Thank you so much for taking your time to be here.
Hey, Shrikant, and all our viewers, delighted to be here. Thank you, Shrikant, for having me over. It's a great idea to have these kind of interactions, especially when everyone's at home and trying to work. As you see, I'm looking like an air traffic controller because I'm again sitting at home and, with these microphones, with these headphones on. Wishing viewers, great seasonal greetings. And yeah, so what would you like to know?
All right. So let me start with the first question that I ask all my guests. But before that, I must tell you, you have it's a nice style you set up now. Your moustache and your beard looks very unique. It's
Yeah,
the outcome
Shrikant,
of 3 days, 3 months of staying at home.
yeah, absolutely. So it's home office or work 2.0, and that gives you some time to kind of experiment and really generally have a little bit of fun. So nothing more to it.
Right. Absolutely. You look great. So my
Thank you.
first question to you is, what do you believe is the future of work?
Great question. I think the future of work is that there's going to be a lot more business opportunities that are going to come up. Let me try and explain why. For
Okay.
example, home office, right? You rigged up this website really fast, and I mean, I really like the merchandising and the array of products and so on. And so, just think about the number of businesses that have that have got an opportunity to be inventive and really start off where there was no other opportunity like that. Right? We are no longer forcing employees to kind of
Right.
get stuffed into cars and in traffic jams and so on. Many of my own team members are now working from their own hometowns across the country. I have a business partner who's
Yeah.
based out of Ambala, and he's managing Bombay and Delhi. Right. So I think distributed working is definitely in. Along with it, many more business opportunities are going to be in. While we'll touch upon the technology implications and the ramifications a little later in our conversation.
Right. Right. I think that's pretty insightful. So I want to ask you, can you tell us a little bit about the book that you've written? So give us a little peep into your book.
Sure, Srikant. So the book was written. So there are 4 books that I've written. One of which I will try and cover very quickly. It's about
Sure.
HR analytics. This was written sometime in 2012 and released by the National HRD Network. So
Okay.
this basically doesn't try to teach HR analytics from a capability point of view. It just puts a process in place. So it's a very generous book. It gives away the process to do it, and anyone who's interested can
Okay.
always pick it up. So I used to give it away free. I continue to give it away free. But then, given the reach that Amazon has, I put it up there, and people who want to pick it up, they can also pay me a
Yeah.
little something. Yeah. So the book is really, it was forwarded by Dr. Marshall Goldsmith, who called it revolutionary and groundbreaking. So I
Okay.
guess getting that from him is amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really an achievement. That's something. That's amazing. Can you tell us the name of the book so that people can look it up on Amazon?
It's quite a mouthful. So people looking for it can look it up on Amazon as how many question mark a human number. So the human number was all about HR analytics. So how many question mark a human number? Yeah, they should be able to lay their hands on it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sounds interesting. I'll get myself a copy for sure.
I'll send you one for
Okay.
free.
So all right, that would be awesome. Okay, so I know personally, Siddharth, that you have a lot of interest in technology, and I've seen a lot of posts that you write about AI specifically. So, in this context, what role or what is AI doing? What's happening in the AI space? Can you share a little bit with us?
Sure. I think the future is really about smart homes and smart homes becoming smart workplaces, and also a lot of variables coming in, and customization really moving more towards personalization. And the only way anyone can achieve all this is with an intelligent use of AI. What really happens is that it's only when the customization almost goes to an individualized level that people will find it so easy to work. All these
Right.
years we've had employees rushing around town trying to be somewhere on time, not taking care of their own health,
Yeah.
their own kids, and so on. And now we figured out suddenly that, hey, let go of control, and things are working better. Just think about it. People who used to take a vacation because they need not go to office, and in their mind it meant happiness, right? And what did
Yeah.
we do? We waited for
Right.
years and years to
Yeah.
let them work from home, which was not go to office, right? I think this is a great opportunity, and AI is definitely going to
Yes.
lead to a lot more of smart workplaces, smarter homes, personalization, individual experiences at work, and so on. So there's a great potential that AI is going to bring into this entire realm.
Right. Perfect. Makes
Sure.
sense. So I completely agree with what you're saying. I had somebody at office today morning who said, there was a time when he would when he would travel, he would fly around cities almost 2 or 3 times a week, right? So he would be in the flight a lot of times, and that was all for a half an hour meeting or something. Now, now, because of the situation, he doesn't have to fly anymore. All those calls are happening on Zoom or Google Meet or something like that. So that's a lot of time that's been saved, right? And I came across another very interesting post where I think it was Alok Rodinod Kejriwal who said, it appears that traveling has become a fake hobby for us. We travel and we think we are busy, and now we have so much free time because we don't have to travel and we don't know what to do with it. So his advice was to pick up a hobby. So what's your advice to somebody who's probably finding it difficult to catch up with the current situation? They're feeling they're overwhelmed. I speak to everybody, and everybody says now there is no time limit. We work all day long, right? So from an HR, what's your advice to somebody like that?
Well, we do something because innately we like it, right? So if we are actually working so hard, it means somewhere we are liking it, or it's an escape from something else. Maybe washing vessels, right? By the way, dishwashers are completely out of stock. So I think one of the keys to finding out a hobby that's really interesting for someone is to actually find out what they like to do when they were little kids. Right? It could be drawing, painting, it could be listening to music or whatever. Take some time off, try to recollect what you really liked. I, for one, used to like using fountain pens, right? So once when I did this exercise, I just went and picked up a fountain pen. I really liked it. So no fixed answers, but find out what triggers and awakens that little child within you.
Yeah.
I think I'm having a loose connection here. Let me try and figure that out. Yeah, I think I'm sorted. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, sorted.
So I completely agree with you. I think I love this tagline. I think it is Fruity or something, which says, "Why grow up?" All right. So let the child, let leave a little bit of child within you. So I completely agree with you. So what's that?
I would say leave. I would say leave the child completely there within you. I wouldn't say a little bit. I'd say let it be there. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Good to hear. So what is that hobby that you picked up in these last 3 months?
Quite a bit, actually. So I got back to writing. There's executive coaching that a friend of mine and we are doing more as a pro bono thing, because I think that's another area where people are needing a lot of help. It's not easy staying at home. They need someone to talk to. So executive coaching is something we are doing. And along with that, another initiative called Gear Up. So we've started teaching HR to a few guys who would like to learn psychometrics and so on. We put up a YouTube channel, and it's fun.
Okay, awesome. I read about that. So tell us a little bit more about Gear Up.
Okay, so Gear Up is a non-commercial initiative. We said we won't keep an account, we won't keep a checkbook, none of that sort. So it's basically for people who'd like to come and teach something that they've learned, and whoever wants to come and learn can learn. It can be students, it can be professionals, whatever. We did face a little bit of flack for it. People said, "Oh, don't give away anything free. It's not valued," and so on. We said it's okay. It's an experiment. Who cares, right? So we tried it out, and every Saturday for the last 8 Saturdays, I guess, there have been a group of 100 HR professionals, all HR heads, HR managers, HR leaders, and so on, who come right at the dot of 11 o'clock and learn for an hour and a half and leave, right? There's no cost attached, and it is working. So people who want to learn.
Yeah. That's amazing. That sounds really interesting. So where should somebody look up for Gear Up?
It's a
YouTube?
It's a website, www.gearup.cafe, CAFE. So we felt it's got to be fun. So it's .cafe.
Yeah. Awesome.
And the name is fairly self-explanatory. It's about gearing up oneself, right? So after COVID's gone away and everything's fine, you'll find yourself a couple of notches higher. Thanks for asking me the question, though.
Right. All right. So I want to know from so you probably get to interact with a lot of employees across different sectors. So can you share with me some insights on what is the kind of impact that you're seeing in different sectors? I'm sure it's doing good for some sectors, and for some sectors it's doing really bad. And just give us a little bit of insight into that variety.
I think this has really had a massive impact on commerce and economy. While there are a few sectors like ours where we've found, daily groceries really picking up massively, there are a few other sectors like hotels, like travel, like tourism, and so on, who really, they are bearing the brunt. And it's going to take a little more time, probably till the vaccine comes out. And then I feel the economy is actually going to boom. Because you can't keep a lot of pressure inside, right? And people who love traveling like you and me, we are going to kind of compensate, right? And anyway, now everyone knows that working remotely is possible. So I think that's a great thing. In terms of startups, in terms of many other organizations, those who are at the receiving end of let's say cash flows for survival, they are finding it definitely a challenge. There are many companies that have, kind of cut down on costs, cut down on employee salaries, but then they've said, "Hey, we are a gang, so we are not going to let you go." I think great stuff all around. Yeah.
Right. All right. So I want to ask the audience, you have any question related to HR or related to anything related to, I must tell you, Siddharth is a very, very interesting person. Great to have, you can have conversation on almost any topic with him. So no bars, no asterisk or no conditions apply. Just ask any question you have for Siddharth and let's see if he can answer some. Okay.
Thank you for making my life very easy.
Yeah, that's my job. That's my job. What can I say? Okay, so I want to ask you about this, right? There's a lot of and now people have realized that you don't really need to meet in person and you can work from a distance, and there's a lot that you can still get done, right? So I'm seeing a surge in the opportunities and demand for freelancers and what do you call that, gig economy, that sort of thing, right? Do you have any opinion or any experience with that?
Sure, Shrikant, that's a great question. So I think as workplaces of the future are going to also future-proof themselves, right? All these days, people have taken people on, on their roles and kind of tried to run an organization and so on. I think after this little bit of turbulence that's happened, people are also going to become a little future wary and future-proof by trying to take people on specific assignments on specific tasks that they need, right? For example, I think it's a great time for clinical psychologists and industrial counselors to actually start off with some gig assignments in organizations around, right? Which basically means that they charge by the hour or whatever, and then they are hired by multiple organizations. And really, the future of work in that sphere is going to be that there would be large organizations like, you have a Quest today, you have a TeamLease today, and so on. And a lot of professionals are actually going to go on their roles and really be leased out to other organizations. I mean, we've had Airtel taking care of the core business, which was marketing and branding, and they let go of their towers and their billing and so on, right? You had them do that 10-15 years ago. I think now industry is going to wake up and say, hey, whom do I need on my roles? And can I get the best if I go for the gig workforce, right? I'm not stuck with one professional for a long time. So I think the era of professional expertise, professional excellence, and all that is definitely in right now.
Right. Perfect. So related to that, I want to ask another question. There are a lot of people who are losing jobs. And there's a lot of mix which is happening. There's a lot of uncertainty that's going on, and I see the posts on LinkedIn related to jobs are getting a lot of responses. That's unusually high number of responses, right? So that's an indication that not all is well, right? So what's your advice to those people who have lost jobs, and what do you think they should be doing?
Well, it's a very unfortunate time for anyone to lose their job, especially in a country like India. And it's a very painful thing as well. There are quite a few of people whom I've heard of who really gone back to asking, hey, what is it that I'm looking for in a job?
Yeah.
What do I really want, right?
Mm.
I know a gentleman who was heading commercial in a very large retail company who said, hey, I have 6 acres of land in my place. I'm going to go there and grow tomatoes. So he did that just before the lockdown. And now he's apparently harvesting tomatoes of some 15 lakh rupees, right?
Awesome.
And yeah. So, and you also have people who let go of their parents, the elderly at the villages, they let go of their traditions, they let go of their roots, and really migrated to cities. I think the future is really that individuals are going to ask themselves, what is it they really want to do?
Right.
And that combined with the gig economy is there to stay.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. So it's an opportunity to see if you can monetize some of the skills that you have while you're working from wherever you're working. It's a great time.
Absolutely.
To be back home, to be back in your native, to be back with nature, to be back. I'm coming across a series of people who, what do you call, nomadic entrepreneurs or something like that, right? So there are a lot of freelancers who are doing work from wherever they are, and I still see their every month they seem to be in a different place. So it's probably an interesting opportunity to explore, to ask yourself more questions, and get to know yourself better. Is that too philosophical?
Not at all. I think that's the shape of things to come. People are going to ask themselves, why am I doing this? What am I doing? And taking it from there.
Right. Okay. So let me ask you this. From in the current situation, right? So there is a lot that has changed in the last 3 months. So in the current situation, from a business point of view, or from an so HR, I always see as they're the the layer between the business or the management and the employees, and they function as the buffer zone for a lot of things, right? So I want to ask you this: from a management or from a business point of view, what are the challenges that are there in the current situation? And from an employee point of view, what are the top challenges that employees are facing in the current situation?
Yeah, so that's a great perspective you brought in, because I think Workplace 2.0 is going to become more of HR being a facilitator and not really getting jammed between both of them, right? And so what's actually happening is it's helping the situation. A business comes and asks for help. Employees come and ask for help. Instead of saying, you're supposed to solve my problem, they say, hey, can you help me sort this out for myself? And I think that's where learning lies, when someone wants to sort it out for themselves, right? I think in terms of business is looking at HR for answers, for figuring out, hey, what is everyone else doing? Is there something else which someone else is doing? The market scanning that would help employees. And employees are asking HR about things like, are we really safe? How's the business going? I know I get a perspective from my manager, but what is it really like? This is something that I've heard from a lot of my colleagues in the industry. And I think that's a nice place that, firstly, there's a direct linkage between the employer and the employee, and HR is just helping both of them succeed. I think that's a nice movement that the entire thing has gone towards.
Right. Well said. So if I were to ask you, in the coming few months and maybe in the coming few years, is there going to be a change in the kind of skill set that for which there is going to be demand? So if somebody has to, unlearn, learn, what would your advice be to them? Let's put it this way. Tell us the top 3 skills that are going to be in major demand in the coming few months.
Few months or few years?
Okay, let's say a few years.
Sure. I was just reading a report somewhere, and they said we are very good at overestimating the near term and are underestimating the long term.
The long term,
so so let's look at the long term. I think in the long term, a lot of nano entrepreneurs are going to come up. People who have a skill, who have something they are really good at, the passion that drives them, and they are going to be servicing the locality economy, right? Someone who's really good at making cakes, someone who's really good at carpenting, someone who's it's going to become an aggregation of villages, right? A city or a complex is really going to go towards that. And I think people are going to go more towards co-staying in cities, where people are able to come maybe once or twice a month, stay in a place, figure out whatever they've got to do at the workplace and go back.
Right.
And in terms of, I think, internet penetration, there's going to be a huge fill-up to that. They're going to, people are going to ask for 4G and so on at all
now.
the. Sorry.
5G now.
5G, yeah, if that comes through, yeah. And with all this happening, I think there are going to be very large corporations that are going to benefit tremendously, because once the kind of demand that has been there only in cities actually goes to all the 130 billion Indians that are there,
right?
You can just imagine the kind of the kind of economy that's growing to. I mean, think of these things, right? Till now in the village, let's say nobody has used them, and there is some character like me who lands up there and who's using this. There are going to be at least 3 more guys over there who are going to buy it, right?
Yeah.
Where did that market come up from, right? Whether they use it or not is a different thing, but at least they are going to want it, right? And I think that's going to be a really good one.
I think that is what is inviting Facebook and Google to come all the way and invest with Jio, some of the biggest investments that are happening in India right now, and major commitments of investment in India happening. I think India is the biggest source of newbies who are going to get onto the internet. I don't think such large numbers of people getting onto the internet for the first time is going to be there anywhere else in the world, right? So that presents a new set of opportunities. What do you think?
Absolutely, and I also think people are coming to India not just because of the demand that's very visible, right? They're actually coming for the data. They're coming to understand how does 130 crore kind of a population behave with respect to consuming something, right? Is there a method to the madness? Is there a way that these guys behave in a certain kind of time span? So I don't think this is big data. This has gone towards huge data, right? And I think that's the reason that these guys are actually putting their money here. Because someone who can figure out 130 crore population, I think they have Africa and Europe and the US sorted, right? It's like having 30 countries in India. I think that's the kind of learning that they are actually coming here for.
That's correct. That's correct. I have an interesting question from Sandhya. She's asking, Siddharth, are you there?
I'm very much here.
Okay, so we have a couple of questions here. One is from Sandhya, who's asking, what is the most challenging part of working from home according to you?
You want the truth? The truth is that I've got to put something called VW on my calendar, and VW has nothing with Volkswagen. It is called vessel washing, right? So I've got to pencil in time for vessel washing, and I think that's a great thing as well, right? So it's something that unites the family, and it's good if everyone's able to contribute. The other difficult thing, I mean, not for someone like me, but for people who'd like to kind of have a sutta break or whatever, they are going mad without being able to hang out with their friends with that little cup of chai. So
I agree with you. I can understand that. I was saying, I hope you're good at vessel washing.
I have picked up that skill.
All right, another question I have is from Charles, who says, okay, awesome. That's a valuable skill. Will the work from home going to be extended for years, even after the pandemic situation gets over? Okay, that's an interesting question, right? So I mean, there is a very high possibility that the vaccination will be out in a few more months. So will the work from home situation continue, or things are going to get back and everybody's going to be back, like you said, what's stuffed into vehicles on the roads? What's going to happen?
I think work from home is here for the long term. There's no doubt about it. In fact, if there's something that you guys need to put some money into and branch a business out, I think it's in the area of interior decoration or interior design. Because if people are going to be staying for such a long time at home, they will slowly want to put money into how they feel when they stay at home, right? So I think work from home is here to stay, and it's also because employees are going to start demanding that. They're not going to be okay with companies saying, no, you got to come and show your physical presence here in office. It's here to stay. Definitely, it's here to stay.
Right.
What might actually go up is not only work from home but work from anywhere. Right, as it is, I think in Chikmagalur and so on, they have resorts that have said, come and work with, stay with us for 10 days, and we'll give you everything. Just pay us this kind of money. And I think that's actually a huge potential for a country like India, right? Why wouldn't I want to, let's say, go sit in Ladakh and conduct this meeting? I mean, you'd have a much better background, I'm sure.
Absolutely, bang on. I love that answer. So let me ask you another question before we are almost at the end of our interview. I want to ask you this question from a company point of view, right? It appears that most companies are happy because they're able to save a lot of costs. There's the cost of infrastructure, the cost of rental, the cost of electricity, the cost of travel, the cafeteria. All this is gone, right? So how are companies looking at it? Are they looking at it that we are saving money, or are they looking, no, the productivity is getting dropped?
Awesome. I wanted to actually touch upon that and I forgot that, right? Thanks for bringing it up. See, today what's happening in cities is there's a fair bit of your P&L going towards rentals. And as of today, companies haven't actually got rid of those costs because they're kind of unsure, right? And they also might be in terms of, they might be in lock-ins and so on. So, they still got offices, they're still paying their utility bills and so on. But I think maybe a year down the line, they will actually start, reducing these kind of costs. And that money that they are going to save is actually going to go into increasing the capacity of business. It's going to go into creating better products. It's going to go into understanding better, their own customers. It's going to go into creating better markets. And I think that's overall better for the economy.
Yeah. Better for the economy, better for the customer. Is it better for the employee?
I think absolutely. So if an employee is able to stay at home, which he used to, spend paid vacation days to do earlier, kids are going to grow up better with their moms around, with their dads around, which means our next generation is safe. They're going to eat home food, which means their health is better. The overall index of the country is going to go higher. And all these guys are probably going to be happier, which means, they're living for what they're supposed to be living, right? And along with this, things grow. People grow by seeing what others do. And if you have, that level of wholesomeness happening in every family, you can be sure that this is actually going to spread in the society also, right? So it's overall, I think it's a very positive outlook that I have.
Awesome. That sounds good. So with that, we are at the absolute end of the 8th episode of Office 2.0. Thank you so much, Siddharth. It's been awesome having you. As always, love your energy. Keep going. All the best. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me here, Srikanth and the team. It's absolutely been a pleasure. I never expected so many questions, to be honest. And very, very generous of you to ask me some nice questions. And of course, thank you to the audience for having logged in. And I think, as pilots would say, we have arrived. So cabin crew, disarm all doors and and have a great stay at home working.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic weekend, Siddharth. And thank you so much.
And thanks for hosting me here. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.